Right, welcome back everyone, it's a brand new video and today we are doing a review on TIS MFT Pro. There's plenty of videos out there, but I thought I'd do my own one. Keep it basic, keep it simple and keep it quick. So yeah, let's get stuck straight into it. So the first thing to mention, you can get loads of different bundles in this tester, and in this one, I've got the following. So this is my setup and this is the box it comes in. So I've got the tester itself, obviously all the leads. I've also got the push button lead, which is a game changer in my opinion. Obviously a lot of testers have this. And it also comes with a rechargeable battery kit, which I do like, so I spend a fortune on batteries. So this is the equipment out of the box, and here's my tester. Now the first question you might ask is, why the TIS MFT Pro? Now there's loads of reasons, let me give you a couple. Price range, I've recently bought some of the other testing equipment, so they're voltage indicators with a proving unit, and this is their new AC and DC earth leakage tester, which is an amazing bit of kit in itself, which I could do a whole video on just on that. I was very impressed with them. So now I'm on the market looking, and I had to decide between a lot of testers, different price ranges, different quality, they can do all different sorts of things. And this one kept catching my eye, the TIS MFT Pro. A lot of other YouTubers use them. I've spoke to some people who use them, and everyone has good things to say about it. And for the price range, like for this bundle is around £1,000, and that's turning off. Yeah, so this is around £1,000, and for what you get and what it can do, I think you can't beat it for the money. Maybe the new Mega, which is I'm sure it's like £2,000, maybe it's better than this. I'm not sure, I've never used it, but I can't justify spending £2,000 on a tester. Now, if you're on the market buying your first set of testers or upgrading the ones you got now, we all know they're expensive, and you can't go wrong for what this can do for the money. The first thing I'm going to give you a con straight off the bat really is the box. I'm not a big fan of the box it comes in. It's quite big, quite clunky. It will protect the tester, but I'm a big fan of tool bags, and I've seen the new Vito Pro Pack meter bag, which this looks like an all fit in. So I'll probably look together, and everything will have a compartment, like your probes can all sit in nicely like on my old tester. So that's probably the first thing I will change on it. Another amazing feature about this tester is the software. And now I emailed TIS and said, look, I'm looking to buy a new tester. I'm looking at your MFT Pro, and I don't want to be buying it if you're going to bring out a new one in like 6 months or a year's time. And he said, there's no plan of it. This one's been out for years now. And what's good about this is they can just update the software. So if they're bringing out a new test and the tester is capable of doing it, they can just update the software, and then you're now able to do that test. And I know like probably about 5 years ago when this first came out, I watched David Savory's video, and it couldn't do continuity above 99.9 ohms. Now it can do a lot more than that. So they can change and update the software as it goes. So if something does change within the regs, they can update it, which I really, really like, because I'm hoping this tester's got a good 7-8 years in it, to be honest. You never know what's going to happen in the electrical industry, but that's my plan with it. And yeah, that was a big feature for me. Yeah, so I mentioned about the price, and you get all kind of different bundles for this. I know they've got an eco one out now, which is a bit cheaper again, but I can't say what's involved with that and the difference between that and that. It'll have to be a different video. But yeah, check all the bundles, because like you can buy this different lead separate, you can buy an EV one, you can buy a solar one. There's so many different bundles you can buy to suit your needs as well, which I really like. So this is what I've gone for. I've obviously gone the one with a lead and the battery kit. A couple of other cool features is the color display. So if I just hold the button to turn it on and give it a second to load up, it's obviously got a touch screen color display. Seems a lot of testers are going down this route now of touch screen instead of dials, because when those dials break, they're quite expensive to change. And I believe TIS said that it's cheaper to change a screen than it is to change a dial. So that makes kind of sense. And I think I prefer it, obviously, me being a younger generation using an iPhone all the time, you know, everything's just touchscreen now. So I much prefer like going on to continuity. And yeah, it kind of makes sense to me, and I do prefer that to my Flukes. Another cool thing it's got built into it is, which I haven't tested out yet, is the ZS values. Apparently it's got built-in BSM 671 ZS values to 80%. So when you're testing and you type in the parameters of the MCB or RCBO you're working on, it'll tell you if the reading's too high or too low. Now, for what I do, I got the figures in my head anyway, so I doubt I'll use it much, but it's nice to be there if you're working on something you're a bit unknown with. Another thing as well, which my Flukes didn't do, is all the RCD tests. Now, this tests from AC, A's, B's, F's, and the other one, which I can't remember. So yeah, it does all the RCD testing, which is good. and obviously good for EVs as well. One thing I have struggled with, which I know is a good feature, but I just can't wrap my head around it yet, I'll probably need to speak to the guys at TIS, is you can actually download results from this onto your computer. You can do it over Wi-Fi or with this lead on a dongle. And then if you wanted to store results on this and move it onto your computer straight away, you can do that. For me, I just type them straight in when I'm doing like an EICR or a test report anyway. So I'm not really going to use it. It would be nice to know how to use it, but when I tried to do it, it was quite complicated. So that's something they could try and improve in that sense. But I mean, I'm not going to use it, so I'm not too fussed by it. So before we get into the menus, I just wanted to give my opinion on the leads and clips and stuff compared to my Fluke switch I had. And the brightness on these crocodile clips are definitely a lot better than my Flukes. These clamp down a lot more, which I really like. And these leads seem a better build quality. But I guess time will tell on leads, which I can't really give you an honest answer with yet because I haven't used them. I haven't used them much. I've only done a couple of tests. So yeah, that's going to be something that I may have to do a second review, say in like a year's time after they've all been used. But everything seems well built. It looks good. Nothing looks cheap. Nothing feels cheap, which is always a good sign. So I think that's enough about talking about the actual tester and the leads. Why don't we actually go through the menus and see what it can actually do? Right, so we got the tester turned on. I just want to give you a quick run through. We ain't going to go too in depth on each setting. I just want to give you a quick run through the menus so you can see what's on there, and maybe you can go and do your own kind of research and to see a bit further in depth to see if it does what you need it to do. So first setting, we got all these at the bottom with all your settings and bits and bobs, which you'd set once, you're never going to mess again. Time and date, that's to upload to your computer, which I haven't figured out yet, and that's all your saved data. So it's pretty basic stuff there. Then you got your continuity, which you can change the time to when it tests, and your maximum allowed tolerance, which you can make to your own to suit your needs, and that's to null your leads there. So if we actually go back, it's because I got the leads plugged in at the top into a socket at the moment, which we'll come to. Then we got installation resistance, similar thing, time, and so here's your time, changing the leads. And then if we go on to there, maximum value again, and you change your voltage, basic stuff. Right, so on to ZS now. So I'm going to run through this quite quick, even though it's got quite a few functions, which I should probably talk about. But here we go. I'm working on an RCD circuit, so I would have that now because that's what I'm plugged into. I don't want the RCBO to trip. And I've also set it to 30 milliamp, which it is, but you can change it from 6 milliamp to 1000 milliamp. So that's pretty good range there. And I could hit test if I wanted to. I may as well show you actually. So let's power that up, hold down, and do a thing. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Now on the other settings, what you can do is set like cable size, so it can tell you if the reading is sufficient enough. You can set whether the grouping factors, and let me actually show you, it'll be better. So if we go on to, for example, on this one, we got to change the setting. It doesn't let you change them on when you're doing a no trip. So on here, we can change the fuse or MCB, put in what we're testing, and change the disconnection time. So that'll give you a thumbs up or thumbs down again if it's sufficient. Then if we go on to the other one up here, again, you change the kiloamps to what you're working on, and it'll give you a thumbs up or thumbs down. Which one was it where you changed the cable? It could have been, yeah, here. So on here, you put in 2.5, it's grouped in with one cable, copper, PVC, and then it'll tell you if that cable is sufficient for the reading. I'm not going to test it because it would trip the RCD. So yeah, you can do quite a bit on ZS, and I need to have a fiddle around with it myself a bit more, but it is good that it'll give you a thumbs up or thumbs down to whether it passes to what you're testing. I do quite like that, because it saves you getting your head in the book sometimes. And then you've got your RCD. Now this is where you can change, again, a load of settings, what RCD you're testing, and 1 milliamp. We've all know how to test our RCDs, and you can obviously test, I should probably mention as well, oh, wrong one, is a time limit thing again. What times you want to do, so do you want to do, I just do auto, but obviously you know we don't need to do ×5 now, but I'll just do auto every single time. There's so many functions on here that you can do if you wanted to. Let's go off that, we'll see what's on that. I don't actually know what that means, so I can't tell you there. There's so many functions on here that I don't have a clue what they mean, and I will be honest, I do need to get my head into the manual, but this is something you can have a look about to see if it does exactly what you need it to do. So after that, onto the next page. So this is where we started. Then we click this arrow. You've got power quality. So this will just obviously give you your general power quality stuff. I'm guessing you could do this on 3-phase as well, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, you can set more parameters. Not too clued up on that just yet. Environmental, so this is like a temperature. You probably do need a separate lead for this, which I don't have. So if that's something you need, you want to look at getting that lead to go with it. Voltage drop. Now, I believe you test this at the start of the circuit and then test it at the end, and it'll basically give you a thumbs up or thumbs down and a percentage to what the volt drop is. We'll just hit test. I haven't actually tried it. So let's just go for it a sec. I'm guessing you've got to do 2 tests. So with 2.2% volt drop, I'm assuming that's going off 0.0 or 0 ohms there. So we've got a 2.2%, which is absolutely fine. Then leakage current, you need a separate lead for this again, which I don't have, and it's a few £100. I don't need it either because I got the other leakage tester, but if you wanted your multifunctional tester all in one to do it, you'd have to go and buy that lead separate. And then you've got phase sequence, which I can't show you because we're not working on a 3-phase system, but if I just click on the menu for you. EV test, I haven't got a plug. Again, if you do a lot of EV, you might want to buy the adapter to plug into this tester. And then you've got an auto mode, which will do ZS, PFC, and RCD all in one. So I'll probably use that feature quite a lot when I'm doing a big EICR and want to get things moving quite quickly. So yeah, there's so many functions and still a lot that I need to even look into myself. But for what I need and what I do day in, day out, this is more than ample. It does way more than what I need it to do. So yeah, I highly recommend this tester, and we'll have a quick chat about it now back on camera, but that's the menus. Let me know what you think in the comments about it. So yeah, overall summary of this tester, I think it's a great purchase and I am happy with it. I'm looking forward to using it day in, day out. And I think, like we said at the start of the video, for the money, you can't really go wrong with what's out there on the market. So yeah, I do recommend it, and I do recommend you go and buy it. I'll try and find a link to leave in the description of the best place to buy it, but if I can't find the best place, then there won't be a link. But yeah, overall, I'm happy. If it's what you need, go and give it a try and make that big purchase. I know it's a big step to go and buy a Tesla that's like £1,000. I was sitting on the fence for ages. But yeah, time will tell. I may do another review in a year's time and give you an updated review. So if you wanted to wait for that, see how I actually get on with it with time, wait for it and then I'll let you know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.